Alright guys, Willem here, back with more Mafia. Still, well, I'm now listening to the live feed update from BB Can this morning. Also, it is Thursday morning. Well, actually, it's not even morning anymore, but it's Thursday. It's the next day since I last recorded. We are continuing on. Yeah, it is already 12:30 because one, I got up super late. Did not plan on it, but I ended up waking up at 11 today, which is like, what the fuck. But also, I did watch the challenge All Stars, the new episode of that, which was again fine. I've been enjoying the season. Like, I do have. I mean, like, it's kind of strange because, like, I feel like the problem, like, one of my problems with the challenge main season is the amount of filler. I feel like this season or series, whatever, the All Stars is too short. When like there's no reason for it to be so short. Like I wish we were given more time with more of the cast. It's like there's no reason why we need 45-minute episodes. Like why aren't these episodes like an hour or more? Or like what the when the challenge main series should be shorter. Like it's so bizarre to me. But whatever.
If I couldn't see the bullshit smile you're trying to hide.
You got him, though, Sam! You got him! I can smell the crap in your pants from here.
Nah, you didn't get me.
So, I'll play some Mafia here. I do work later today. I'll come back. I'll watch the new episode of Big Brother Canada, and then hopefully I get around to playing more Mafia again tonight. See.
Turn on the guys and Kiefer.
What's this? Sorry, I got text.
Like, there are people that are like, oh, Kiefer, beacon of light, beacon of
don't care.
He said maybe he would do something.
Okay, shit.
Kiefer,
I hate it out of the city.
You don't know what
hate
Kiefer's
it
gonna do.
most
Kiefer doesn't know what
places.
Kiefer's gonna do.
Yeah, but out here it's worse. How come there's a place so far out of town on our books?
Don't be a person that falls for Kiefer.
Safest place for card games.
It's very big.
Safest place for most of the
Everything he
things
talks
we
about.
do. We're expecting a big bag of money today. The guy owes.
The thing that people are most excited about right now is that this morning,
yeah, this place is a real
Kiefer had a
magnet.
conversation with Ty. It was actually right
the
before the
places
news
that
cut.
get you the most dough, the ones most people don't look at twice.
Started.
Just recently, the motels had a new
He was
lease
talking
of
to Ty
life.
about,
Last stop before Lost Heaven, the rum coming up from Cuba. They drove
first
it
of all,
this
when we
far.
get to the final
Sure they
four,
do.
it's you and me.
And that's how we can
Right.
sell it so expensive. Bill's Motel is bound to be the place where crates get exchanged.
we know what to do. Those two are
Salieri
going to take each
protects it,
other.
but he lets the other families use it too.
And
Even
Ty
the
was like,
road.
I understand.
To keep the peace.
And Keith was
Plus
like,
it's far enough away that no one cares.
they're gonna,
So
I mean,
long
they're
as
gonna cut
everyone's
me.
making
They're gonna cut me. They're gonna cut you.
No one's gonna
They're gonna
rock
want to
the
go to the
boat.
finals with Tara and Brayden. So, you know, if we need to make a big move,
Anyone else starting to miss
maybe
the
that's
side
what we
of
need to
streets
do.
and sidewalks?
And Ty was like, yeah, I agree.
outdoors, Polly. He's not one for anything.
Which is all great
Indoors,
and fine.
outdoors, in the city, out of the
Terrible
city.
idea for Kiefer to
hate
talk
it
to
out
Ty
here.
about this
Like
prior
when
to
sit
the
in
eviction
field doing
because
some booze
let me tell you,
handover or
there's still a
something.
chance that Ty
It's
goes to
always
Beth
knee
and
deep
Jed
in shit,
and
and most
says,
times it's dark and
hey, guess
cold
what?
as hell.
Kiefer's talking about
That's why
making a
it's
big
good
move
we
all of a
got you
sudden.
now, Tom.
He's talking
We
about,
can do all the jobs with
I was not
Polly
going to forget
Yates.
the fact that he was put up on the
Happy
block.
to oblige.
Maybe we should change our minds. But secondly, again, for anyone that is like super pumped on this idea, Kiefer tells people what they want to hear. Kiefer thinks that Ty wants to turn on them, so he is telling Ty what he thinks Ty wants to hear. He tells Beth and Jed, watch out for Ty, he's going to turn on you.
There it is.
We should think about Ty. He throws Ty into the bus of them. I understand that there's a chance here, and I'm excited that there's a chance here, but I definitely do not feel like Kiefer has 100% said he is going to go after the trio at this point. I think probably more likely he is going to he's going to try to win. I don't think he'll throw it, but I cannot say with certainty what's going to happen, especially if if he's sort of floating this idea out to Ty, and he thinks that Ty is on board, and then he wins HOH and he says to Ty, all right, here we go, Beth and Jed, right? Ty's gonna be like, actually, and that might change the equation. So, who knows? And who knows? Maybe Ty actually does want one of them out. It doesn't seem very likely at this point. He did talk to Brayden again about like, hey, I know that they're gonna take each other. He's talked about these things before, but when it comes down to it, like the thing that gets me about Ty is that he has those conversations, but then with Beth and Jed, he is completely willing to just completely flip on whoever. He's had those conversations with Brayden, and then when Jed asks him, "Are we ready to pull the trigger?" Or when Tara wins the veto, Ty asks Jed, "Are we ready to pull the trigger on Brayden? Let's go." He's very willing to cut Brayden, and then Jed's like, "Or we could do Kiefer," and Ty's like, "Oh, we could, couldn't we?" Like Ty seems very much willing to cut anyone that's not Beth or Jed. He seems very loyal. He always talks through everything in those conversations. He always seems very enthusiastic about the three of them. So it seems like he would not turn. But you never completely know. But I would be surprised. I would be surprised for sure. So that's really where we are. Tara definitely would take a shot. Brayden seems to be coming around to some degree. Maybe would put up like Beth and Jed, but you still don't know for sure. I think he has to try to win because he knows that he could go up. But I mean, I could see him ending up taking out Kiefer if he doesn't want to put up Ty, or if he doesn't want to put up Beth, whichever way he wants to go there. Obviously, Tara's going after the trio. The trio, as of right now, has said, obviously, Brayden and Tara on the block. Tara potentially the target, Brayden potentially the target. But, you know, again, if one of them wins the veto and Kiefer finds his way on the block again, at that point, they may be like, all right, now we need to take out Kiefer. Because that's how they operate, right? If Kiefer wins this HOH, he has 4 on his kids, and he will put up Tara and Brayden, and
I forgot the controls.
He did also swear to Tara that Tara would not be her target. So, you know, take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, I forgot the controls. What, is it circle? Yeah, it's circle, okay.
The fact that Beth and Jed put me on the block, and that means that, hey,
no, what the fuck? Okay, well, fine.
And so, what does that mean? It means that Kiefer is back to his ways of saying these things, right? So, honestly, who knows at this point what's gonna happen? It's a very weird situation here with the House, where I think the majority of the House doesn't even know what they would do if they won. So, you know, trying to figure it out at this point is a bit of a lost cause here. But let me know if you guys have any questions. We'll answer a couple questions before we wrap this up, and we'll try to figure this out.
Oh, I didn't realize we had the push X. Oh, fuck off.
All right.
Should I just fucking run in there?
What do we got? What approach should Tara take to convince?
Plenty of other
I'd kill for some action.
Last night?
Why the hell didn't we just rub them all out?
Taylor says we don't want to walk. Look here.
Oh, beating on their guy's gonna stop that?
Get around him. Running for cover. Now, over.
Am I convinced that Kiefer and Braden will work together? No. Not convinced.
Get around him.
I find it hilarious when the trio plans out the rest of the game and they can't even make up their minds what they're doing that day. Can I see Ty and Beth changing their mind and voting Keep out with Tara? Yes, absolutely I could see that happening, especially given what Kiefer said this morning. It's gonna come back up to the trio talking about like, oh, Kiefer said he's not gonna forget the bad news put out, maybe we need to send him home. I don't know.
What? Why is this being so difficult when like we're on the fucking easiest difficulty?
That's a great call actually. Like, could you imagine the TV moment where you convince them to keep you and then you turn around the next week, you take a shot at them? That would be legendary. That would be a top tier moment in the show's history.
Damn.
Alright.
Really went to work on you, buddy.
Why are the trio so against taking a layup to the final two? Because there are 3 people that don't consider themselves to be layups. So
Be all right.
they don't want other people to cut them. So in their minds, the logic is we can't take. If we want to take a layup, and somebody else wants to take a layup. So taking a layup is the lame thing to do. That we wouldn't respect that because it would be bad for them.
He's okay.
Is there any chance Beth takes Tara or Braden to mile 3, 5, 2? I don't think so. Not unless they win their way there. Do I think Tina Loki wants Keith to win? No. Is Keeper more sincere with Jed about a mile 2, or is Ty about going after Jed and Beth? I mean, that's the thing. Literally just last night when he was talking about, look, maybe I'll take a big move, he was also talking about taking Jed to the final 2. Kiefer is all over the place. I don't think Kiefer means anything he says. I think he's just Kiefer. As of right now, yes, Tina is going home. Do I think Beth throws this HOH? No. That would be a really bad idea. And I don't know. Do I see a scenario where the trio doesn't turn on each other until final 3? Absolutely. Do I think Braden and Keith will throw the HOH? No. I don't think Keith will. Small chance Braden would, but I would hope not.
Wait,
Is
what
Beth
was
playing the best game at this point?
Oh, to kill everyone else first. Oh, fuck.
What am I hoping the outcome is on Thursday? I don't know. I would love to. Honestly, I think the best outcome is Kiefer winning and taking a shot at the guys. That would be, or the trio, I should say. That would be the most fun television.
But I couldn't go back to being a nobody.
But I don't know. I don't know if that would actually happen. Who is the most indecisive in the trio? All of them. Collectively.
So this is like kind of like the story of is like Descent to Madness or something.
How can Braden and Keith solidify working together against the trio? One of them wins power and actually follows through. That's the only way.
Overnight, is it? Just dumb luck.
How much of Kiefer's loyalty is based off the fact that he believes Canada thinks the Sunsetters are the best alliance in Big Brother history? That's definitely a huge part of it.
What are the odds? It felt like, I don't know, like someone was watching out for us.
What kind of HOH competition do I anticipate tonight?
But it's a lucky break.
Endurance would be nice, I gotta say. Endurance would be nice, for sure. Alright. Okay.
Lording over the rest of us.
Okay.
Back then,
That's what we've got here today. Like I said, it's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a mess here today.
In that trailer, whenever they're on the ultimate fact is that you have so many of these gaming companies and these gaming like groups that are making these decisions based off of money. It's very transparently money. You have something like Assassin's Creed, and so Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a great example of this. How the fuck are you an assassin whenever you're a Viking? Like, I'm sorry, but these two things don't really fit together. Like, yes, obviously, in like, you know, like history, to some degree this was the case, but it just doesn't really, like, you watch the trailer for Assassin's Creed, and you think to yourself, like, when do you think assassin in that trailer? Whenever they're on the massive battlefield and the guy's cutting off basically the fucking version of the English is the mountain? You know, he's like cutting him up? No. Like, it's just bullshit. And like, so the games nowadays are being watered down. And I want to say this, right? I don't want Assassin's Creed Valhalla to appeal to me. Because I don't like stealth games and assassin games. So if Assassin's Creed appeals to me, that means it is no longer Assassin's Creed.
I ain't never been in no accident.
And I think that it's good that there are games that I don't like and other people do like.
Oh, you're not gonna need that.
Does that make sense?
Tires are just fine.
Because that means that each game is being developed and made for a different person. And they're not being watered down to have a minimal milquetoast mass appeal. And I think that's what's happened. That's definitely...
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Because like he's the guy that when there was a trailer, when the original trailer for Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out, and like they saw stealth, and he was like pissed off. It's like talking about how he doesn't give a shit about it and just wants to rate that shit or something like that.
Every time crackers went to the mat.
That's true too. And still, Morello left that poor sap dead in the street. Head all caved in.
Don't square.
Maybe the Don knew Joey's career was on the downhill. Maybe he was trying to scare some other guy into paying up. Who knows? Don Salieri chalked it up to Morello not being able to think straight when he was mad.
You, have any more run-ins with Morello's crew back then?
Not at first. For a couple of years after I joined up, things were quiet. We got into a few dust-ups with guys trying to muscle in, but elsewise it was just the usual routine. We're running bulls, out for protection. Me and the boys doing rounds.
Where are you all
like small
walking
time.
from? All of you... So...
I ain't gonna lie. Most days, we was also having
Where are
a
you
bit
all
of fun.
walking from? All of you around the... Were you all doing her? This whore that was here? Why are you not just walking... Like, I'm walking this way, come out the alley, and all these people walk around from around the corner as if, like, that's a place you've come from. What, you're in there? What's in there? Or were you all fucking in the corner here? Is it full of jizz? You just fucking eagle vision, see this shit? Or are you all annoying NPCs just that exist to annoy me to come around
Tommy,
and shit to get in my way?
thanks for getting down here so quickly.
Oh, we all...
Sure thing, boss. What do you need?
You know there's a race coming up.
Oh, yeah. Paulie and Sam have some money on the local.
Mikey Dunn.
That's the guy.
He's a good kid, but a bit of a scrapper. Not too smart with his money. A few years ago, Mikey comes to me asking for a loan. He wants to get new tires so he can keep racing junkers out of the quarry. I like fast cars. I figured it'll be a bit of a hobby. Turns out, Mikey's a great investment. The kid can't lose a race if he walks the track. He graduates from the junkers to cow jobs, and I start placing a few bets on him here.
We're gonna have to wait and see what Keeper does. Hopefully he means it when he says he will not forget that he was put on the block. Hopefully he means it. I mean, I was saying, last night and on Tuesday that Keeper might be talking about staying true to whoever right now, but if he actually does get power, you know that Keeper is gonna get a little bit of that HOH-itis, and I think that while he may be inclined to stay loyal, he may also decide, I don't need to.
Black Thursday around here.
This is my HOH. If they don't grovel properly, who knows what'll happen, right? So I definitely think there's a chance that he makes the move. I think it's encouraging that he's already talking about it, but I would not say that we can bank on it by any means. And I'm definitely also curious to see what Ty does with this information. Again, though, it was pretty vague, and they also did still talk about Final Four, and did not necessarily concretely say that they would want to make the move earlier than the Final Four. It could very well be interpreted as a, hey, we need to stick together to the Final Four, and then it's us two versus them two, and therefore, so on and so forth. So we'll see where all that goes, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this morning. I will be live later today in probably just a couple hours to talk about the stock watch. Check out check before that, at around 1 p.m. Eastern here
It's
on
pretty nice looking,
twitch.tv/Taron Armstrong, I'll try to run through the scenarios for the week and talk about maybe who is the best buy or whatever. But man, it's going to be interesting. They did get messages. Yes, that is a good point. They got messages from the evicted house guests via TikTok, which is interesting.
Wait,
So
I am supposed to go here. What the fuck?
that
It
should be
wouldn't
a
let me
fun
do it a
little
second
segment,
ago.
I think,
Okay.
on the show. But yeah, that's what I've got. Twitch later, and then I'll be watching the episode live on Twitch as well. If you want to watch along with me, and then after the episode, we've got a recap coming your way. So make sure you tune in for that as well. And then we've also got circle coverage going on. Rob and I talked about episode 1, and then Bryce Isaiah joined me to talk about episode 2 of the Circle US on Netflix. That has dropped today. Then tomorrow I'll be talking about episode 3, and then Saturday we'll be live talking about all 4 of the first 4 episodes that dropped yesterday, so that should be very fun. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today, and I will see you all
Bobby comes off
next
shift at
time.
1:30, and then the next guy was an ass. Oh, hey, if you need somewhere to keep your motor safe, where no one can take them.
It's so weird. It's like a lot of this game does feel very old, but
Thanks. Good to know.
sure, I don't give a shit. So I do wonder. So like again, like the thing about these games is I know almost nothing about these games. Outside of obviously there being open world or but I do wonder. So how is actually that's something else I just realized. So is there no actual open world in this game? What? I mean, like obviously it's an open world, but it's like the actual free roaming element of it, is that like in its own separate mode? Because I know there is a free, like there was a free roam mode on the main menu. So is that the open world related thing? Like this is like very mission based, this part of the game. But yeah, I know nothing about Mafia 2 and 3. Which I will be interested in. Did I just... Oh, okay, I'm an idiot. I just accidentally turned the volume down. Yeah, Mafia 2, if I remember right, is supposed to be really good. And then Mafia 3 is supposed to be really bad. But supposedly it got better with the Definitive Edition. And supposedly Mafia 2 got worse with the Definitive Edition. So it'll be interesting to see how those go. Like so far I'm having an okay experience with this game. I'm not like super into it. But it's not bad either. Like it's something I'm willing to finish. I'm willing to continue on with this. Especially because to be honest, there's not really like I mean obviously I could play Persona 5 Strikers. I would like to play Persona 5 Strikers in the ideal world, but I'm not like super like I need to play it right now or anything like that.
I hate it. Ah, come on. Name a better place to pick up a dame than this place this weekend. Don't get me started. Things I've seen.
I guess the next UB Ford got announced, which is really strange that got announced this early, but it's for June 12th. Like, that's literally like 2 months away. Like, isn't that pretty much E3 time? So it's like, it's weird they would announce it now. Well, whatever.
Okay, this is it. Here she is.
1929 Carazella C series, best in class. It's a shame you gotta wreck it.
If they see this on the road, cops are gonna ask questions.
When they catch up, sure. Try to keep it in one piece too, huh?
So, I gotta be back from Bertone by 1:30 before the nice guy shift.
Yeah, he's an ass.
I heard.
Oh shit, we have a time limit. Yeah, I do really want to do that, Assassin's Creed series ranking. Ah, fuck. I just don't have time to do it. Well, it's not time. I don't have the time on the schedule to do it, I should say. So I really want to. I'll have to make a decision because, again, I'm debating over, like, do I do that video, the 5-year anniversary video on the Assassin's Creed movie? Or, fuck. Okay, this is a disaster. Or do I go ahead and, do an Assassin's Creed series ranking instead? I'm kind of actually thinking of doing the series ranking. Because, to the Assassin's Creed movie, it's like, while I am going to do a video on it eventually, I feel like for 5-year anniversary it seems a bit unnecessary. Like, I feel like maybe if I'm still doing this in 2026, when we get to the 10-year anniversary, I think maybe that's when I'll do it. To do it for the 5-year feels strange. Especially when I have no real connection to the movie either. Like to be honest, like, I've never actually fully, like, I've watched it, but it's like, I like stopped paying attention like halfway through because it was so fucking boring. So it's like, I haven't really, like, fully watched the movie ever. Yeah, shit. I don't know, maybe I'll still do it, we'll see. I feel like there would be interesting enough things to talk about, but we'll figure it out.
Tommy Angelo.
Lucas Bertoni. Oh, ain't she a thing of beauty?
We don't have much time.
Hey, I'm a fast worker. Sit tight. Hello, you.
Oh, looks like Lasers is, it's gonna be streaming Persona again. Oh, he's actually getting to the good bits now. He's about to finish a say.
Thanks, Lucas. I gotta get back before anyone catches on.
Go easy with her. She's gonna misbehave. Hey, tell Mr. Salieri I'm always available for this kind of work. I do stuff for a lot of people, but I always know where I stand with you guys. Hot cars, getaways, anything for the right price.
Let's just hope Salieri's guy wins tomorrow. For all our sakes.
Okay. Drive careful.
Okay. Oh shit, we got another time. Okay, let's pause this for a second. I think what we're gonna do, we might as well just do this, is listen to the Circle podcast because I'm really far behind on that.
Most people know that Apartments.com, the most popular on Netflix. I'm Rob Sister. Here's Taryn Armstrong. Taryn, how are you?
All right.
I'm doing great, Rob. Very excited to be here. Winky face emoji sent.
Taryn, you don't know.
how hard it was for me to open the show and not refer to myself as #HumbleDilf.
Hashtag HumbleDilf. Well, luckily you didn't, because then I would have replied with hashtag I'm a fun guy too.
Yeah. So much to unpack here from the kickoff of The Circle back on Netflix. We are going to have coverage of every episode of season 2 of The Circle, which just dropped on Netflix. We will have 4 episodes of the podcast, talking about all 4 episodes of The Circle, which just dropped this week. We'll cover only the premiere here, in case you haven't watched ahead. We will only be talking about the premiere here in this episode. Then on Thursday of this week, Karen will have episode 2 coverage, Karen will have episode 3 coverage, and then we'll all get back together on Saturday for a week 1 roundtable.
God damn it. Well, that obviously went great.
Podcast on YouTube to talk about everything with a big panel every Saturday for each week of The Circle. There's 3 weeks in total, and then the 4th week, which will be the finale. If you want to subscribe to our Circle coverage, get podcasts about each and every episode of The Circle Season 2, plus all the coverage that Taryn did about The Circle UK and Celebrity Circle UK, which just wrapped up. Go to robhasawebsite.com/Circle Podcast on Apple Podcasts, or search for Circle RHAP on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Taryn, how excited are you for more Circle?
Well, I guess that's what we don't want,
I'm very
is it?
excited. You know, we had the Celebrity Edition in the UK, which was very short, very fun. And we had the regular edition, Season 3 of The Circle UK, which was very interesting, had a very compelling storyline. And now we're back with The Circle US Season 2, and I really am excited about the direction that they seem to be heading. The previews mentioned that this was a more strategically focused cast. And right out of the gate, almost every single person in their intro mentions strategy, alliances, and that is very exciting to me, because I feel like this is an area of The Circle that we have not really fully explored yet.
I mean, we have, though. It's just that you haven't watched it.
Circle on Netflix, very fun. Not a very strategic season, very much about like the friends they made along the way in Circle Season 1. How much ahead are the UK versions of The Circle, Darren?
Not that far ahead, to be honest. In the UK, the idea of being tactical or strategic is kind of taboo in the way that it was when Survivor started airing here in the US. But they never really had their moment where Richard Hatch wins and Dr. Will wins and everyone cheers.
Did everyone cheer?
So the idea
Pretty sure no one
that
cheered.
playing the game is actually considered to be an insult. In the UK.
Oh, what?
Even though they are playing the game, they have to do so very, very lightly, lest they be caught having anything to do with strategy. And so that has kind of put a limit on.
Yeah, I think the problem. I wish Taryn had watched Brazil and France.
Okay.
I do feel like he's missing out on all the context here.
Format change. Have you noticed anything that?
Which, like, normally it wouldn't really matter, like international versions of the show, but the fact that it's by the same production company.
Not really. I mean, what's fresh on my mind is the UK season. So there are obviously some slight differences. I feel like the decoration in the rooms is very different than how they decorate in the UK.
I wanted to ask you this: do they customize the rooms based on?
It's like the exact same. Like, I noticed like some of the rooms are the exact same from the UK season 3.
Seemed like that really matched his personality. When Terlisha comes in,
I am also interested in, like, when was this filmed in relation to Series 3 of the UK?
Are they, like, doing
was it after? Like, immediately after?
Pair up with a person?
I think to some degree, yes. Although I noticed that there were blue cabinets in maybe Chloe's room as well. There was somebody else's room also had that blue color, and I was like, well, there goes that. But no, I do think that they tried to have it match the person's personality to some degree.
Like getting your HOH room.
Yes.
They can do a little bit.
Ah, shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's meet our 8 competitors that we've met so far here in The Circle, and then talk through the events of episode number 1. We have Savannah here, who comes in, who is, a real standout, and I have to say, probably the number 1 contender.
She feels
that
like
natural.
the main character to me right now. We're introduced to her first, and we got her perspective consistently throughout. And then, of course, by the end of the episode, she is one of the top dogs. So it definitely feels like somebody that is going to be here to stay.
Yeah. What exactly is her job? She works in Washington, D.C. She works in the government.
She says she does data research on Capitol Hill. So
okay.
There's plenty of data to research.
She works in robotics also.
What data she researches, but
yes. Yeah. Savannah, such a standout for me.
Yes.
She's a big fan.
Going in as herself,
yeah, which
is usually a good thing in terms of longevity.
Yeah, I really do love Savannah.
She has personality.
Obviously, she's gone, so like, oh wow, but
clearly very smart, and I think that there's a lot of potential here.
I was a little concerned with Savannah when she walked in because she looks very glamorous on her, entrance to the circle, and I'm like, oh, well, people are not going to believe she needs a catfish because nobody's going to believe that she's real. And then, luckily, most of her pictures that she's posting so far, her profile picture, very much like her on a normal day.
Yeah, and I honestly, I feel like in some ways having that kind of contradiction where you have a personality that maybe contrasts with how you look can actually kind of sell that you're real. We're actually going to see in this episode when she talks about being on the robotics team, they were like, oh, she's got it. And that's because it's almost like when you're catfishing, you don't expect somebody to come in with contradictions. You expect them to come in and play it like you would expect, because that's the easy way to do it. So if you come in with facts that might not seem immediately apparent, then I think it's actually more believable in some ways.
Interesting. All right.
Let's get out of here.
Speaking of catfish, we have Jack who comes in. Jack is going to be playing as Emily. Okay. So we have Jack who's going to be playing as Emily. That he doesn't want to be just a boring, basic girl. He's going to try to spice things up and say things like "rosé all day."
Yeah, he was like, I don't want to be a basic, boring, cute girl, whatever. And then he writes the most basic, boring bio.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. So I am concerned here about Jack because I, like what he's going for in terms of like, hey, I'm gonna be the villain. They'll never see it coming. But I don't know if he totally nailed the character of Emily before he set off to go do the circle.
Yeah, and this is the complete opposite of what I just talked about with Savannah, where he's coming in, he's holding a glass of wine, or she's holding a glass of wine in her hand, and now her entire personality is that she just constantly talks about wine. And every comment is like some kind of oh, wine emoji, oh, I can't wait for my, I don't know, wine alcohol thing to happen. It's very she has no personality so far.
Yeah. Now, Jack, as fans of the Purple Pants podcast, might recognize that Jack, I believe he went on the trip that Bryce and Wendell took to Survivor South Africa. They played in some Survivor game that was U.S. survivors versus South Africa survivors. I think that Jack was the person that was on that trip. Him and Bryce have become friends over the years. He's a frequent contributor to the Purple Pants podcast. But I do wonder if he might have binged Bryce's season of Survivor before he went out, because he said when crafting Emily, he needed to make sure
you can't necessarily trust hot.
You can trust cute. You can't trust hot. As spoken by somebody that Bryce is not a huge fan of, LJ.
The great LJ, yes. Words of wisdom. I don't know, I don't know if he nailed the photo.
Should I end here?
Yeah,
I feel like I should end here. Yeah, we're gonna end here. I should create a video idea in my head. Ranking celebrity players from Survivor.
I don't know what the difference necessarily is between cute and hot, but I don't know if he nailed it.
Yeah. Emily,
yeah.
I don't think we really got
we'll end here.
anything else
Next
about
episode,
her
on.
character.
Well, thanks for watching.
Not really, no. Just,